is the New Homes for Houston Virtual Home Buyer Fair, the February 25th, a beautiful Saturday morning. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn about the New Homes for Houston initiative and to, also to learn about our co-presenter, the Tejano Center. Uh, we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that are just jumping in, just to let you know, we are recording. And so we have a couple of housekeeping items to get started. First, for everyone that's joining, please keep your microphone muted. We have a lot of people that have registered, over 500 of you. So just to make sure this flows quickly, please just keep your microphone muted until the end, and then we'll take questions. Like I mentioned earlier, the Home Buyer Fair is being recorded, and it's our plan to get this out to you directly, everyone who registered, no later than the end of this upcoming business week. So this is being recorded. We are going to send this to you, and also all these slides that you're looking at. Also, please send questions into the chat box. This is going to be a lot of information. Our entire Houston HCD team is on the line. They're ready to answer your questions. The Tejano Center is here to answer your questions as well. In fact, everyone from the city, please go ahead and in the chat, identify yourself, and that way everyone can see who is with the city. And that way, when you see some answers, when you put your questions in, you see the answers, you know that that's the city of Houston representative answering your question. So we will take your questions and answer them in the chat throughout the presentation. And then what we're going to do is at the end, take a Q&A. We'll make sure to respond to the most frequently asked questions. And then we'll take your additional questions at the end as well. So there'll be plenty of time to take your feedback throughout the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started with the agenda. So that way you know what you will be learning about today. Actually, we're going to kick it off with our co-presenters at the Tejano Center for Community Concerns, and they're going to go over some great home buyer and homeowner resources that you may not know that they offer. So it's going to be that's going to be great. It's for everyone, wherever you are in the home buyer journey, they got something for you. And then we're going to transition, back to the city of Houston. We're going to talk about the New Homes for Houston initiative, and that's in a nutshell to let you all know. We're building 4,000 new single-family homes throughout the city, and we're going to talk about what that means and how you can be a part of that. And then we're going to wrap up the presentation by going over at a high level how you can apply to be one of those homeowners. So with that said, I want to transition and hand it off to our partners, the Tejano Center for Community Concerns, and they're going to talk about, again, their great programming that's available to everyone throughout the city.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing Tejano Center to come into your homes on this Saturday morning. My name is Gabriela Luna, and I'm better known as Gabby. I serve as a housing senior manager for the Tejano Center Housing Department, and I've been with the agency for 16 years. And here on the call is my colleague, Laura Escamilla, and I'll let her introduce herself to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Laura Escamilla with Tejano Center's Housing Department. I work as a housing counselor for the organization as well as a home buyer instructor for the home buyers class. It's a pleasure to be with you guys today. I will be in the chat answering any questions that you may have throughout the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. So a little bit of information about Tejano Center. The Tejano Center was founded in 1992. We have been in existence for over 30 years, and our mission is to improve opportunities and to empower our community. We also have a saying here at Tejano Center, and that is making it happen together. We cannot do it alone. We make it happen together, and that includes you all. Thank you. And we'll move to the next slide. And the Tejano Center has a wide array of programs and services. And those services are composed of 4 pillars. One of the pillars is the housing pillar, which includes my department, the home buyer and home owner services, the Nueva Vida, which is a complex for seniors, and the Sunrise Loft. This is an 89 unit that is going to serve the youth aging out of foster care. And this is one of our newest programs, and is scheduled to open sometime later this year. Under the education pillar, we have the Raul Izaguirre School for Success, the OST Lofts, Grad Cafe by Project Grad, and the Nova Academy. Under our health pillar, we have the Baylor College of Medicine Teen Clinic, which serves the youth ages between 13 and 24. And La Tiendita, which is a storefront helping those community residents that are having a hard time making ends meet. And that comes along with case management, because we want you to become self-sufficient. Under the social pillar, we have the Child Placing Agency with the foster to adopt component, the Resolve program, which supports any victim of abuse, and the Family and Community Engagement program. And I'll be talking more about the housing pillar. The housing program includes the homebuyer education workshops, the individualized housing counseling, homeowner housing counseling, disaster recovery case management, home repair program, and the weatherization program. So let's discuss a little bit more. So the homebuyer education classes, what are they? Why do we need them? It's an 8-hour class. You're giving up your Saturday, but it's for a purpose. So we offer the 8-hour classes. It's a how-to-proof class. We offer these classes twice per month. One class is in Spanish and the other class is in English. You're going to learn how to navigate the process of home buying. So we don't expect you to remember everything that you hear during that 8-hour class, but you'll certainly walk away knowing what it is that you want and the things that you don't want as part of your home buying process. Now, be mindful that the homebuyer certificate is not a voucher. It's not a guarantee that you are going to receive any sort of down payment assistance. It is a requirement that you will be fulfilling for any down payment assistance program or any special mortgage financing for first-time home buyers. So, and this certificate is valid for 12 months. And we can move on to the next one. And you see that our classes are exciting. As you could see by those images, that's towards the end of the class. Everybody walks away with a little reminder as to what they need to do. And I'm sharing with you our schedule for 2023. Our next class is scheduled for March the 25th. I certainly do expect to see many of you in our classes. Our classes begin at 8 a.m. and they end at 4 p.m. The cost for the class is $50 per family. And here's the class location. If you cannot make it in March, we have a class every single month for the rest of the year. Our classes are not only in English, so if you have family or friends that are Spanish speaking, by all means, please refer them to us. What is a one-on-one counseling session? So you've taken the class, now what? What comes next? You're still lost. Maybe there's things that you don't understand. What comes next in your home buying process? The next step after you complete your class should be come and meet with a counselor. Come and meet with Laura, come and meet with myself. And during this session, it's a private session, and it is going to be tailored to your needs. We are going to pull your credit. We're going to look at your income. Now, the credit report is a soft pull. It's at no cost to you whatsoever. But we need your credit report in order to identify any credit obligation that you have. Do you have any collections? Or what are your credit scores? What does your credit profile look like? We can identify any obstacles and barriers. If you have any, then we're going to develop a plan of action. We're going to tell you, okay, in order to get to C, you need to do A and B. Once we get to C, we're going to revisit what else needs to be done. And we're going to walk with you by the hand until you reach that mortgage readiness, where you can go to any lender, apply for a mortgage, and qualify for a mortgage. I like to say, don't let the mortgage pick you. You put yourself in a situation, you make yourself ready where you can pick and choose who it is that you want to work with. Now, if you are mortgage ready, I mean, you're ready to go on that first appointment, we're going to go over the different types of financing so you can identify what type of financing you want to apply for. And we're also going to identify any down payment assistance program or any program that you may want to pursue. And we're going to give you a pretty good idea whether you're eligible for that program or not. So we're not only here while you're buying a house. You know, we're on this meeting, everybody wants to become a homeowner, right? You want to reach that aspiration of becoming a homeowner, owning your very own home. But we're still here for you after you become a homeowner. If you want to explore refinancing, is it a good time for me to refinance? Well, you can come in and you can meet with one of our counselors. We also go over property tax discounts. We make sure that you're taking advantage of any discount that you're eligible for. Anyone should be able to qualify for the general homestead exemption, which gives you a discount on the value of your property. So that way you're not you're paying a discounted property tax, which in the end makes your home more affordable and sustainable. There are other tax discounts that you can take advantage of. If you turn 65, if you become disabled, or one of the property homeowners becomes disabled or is over 65, they can be applied immediately. And we're here to guide you through those processes. If you don't understand your escrow analysis, you're a homeowner. Most folks are under the impression that if you get a fixed interest rate mortgage, that your payment is going to stay the same throughout the term of the mortgage, and that is not the case. If we're paying a combined payment where we're sending our property tax payment, our insurance payment with our payment to the mortgage company, then if our property value increases, our property taxes are going to increase. If the insurance increases, our payment is going to increase. So we're here to help you understand those accounts as well, and tell you how to be proactive throughout the year and the term of your mortgage. Now, we've all seen what COVID has done to the economy. There's a lot of families that are behind on their mortgages, right? So if you come across, or anyone that you know that is having a hard time making their mortgage payment, we're here to help you as well. We can explore retention options. Okay, what can we do to keep you in the house? Is a payment possible? Is a loan modification needed? Has something changed permanently in the household composition? And loan modification is not a refinance of your current loan. It's just changing the terms of the current mortgage. And this is with the end goal to keep you in the home. And if you know anyone going through foreclosure right now, please guide them to Tejano Center. Tejano Center is going to become an intake center pretty soon for the Homeowners Assistance Fund. So we'll be able to apply on the homeowner's behalf to the state to see if they qualify for assistance to bring their mortgages current. Now, once we explore all the retention options, and if that is not possible, then we can explore disposition options. How do we exit the home in the best terms possible for you? Disaster recovery case management. We've seen many disasters. In the last 6 years, we've gone from one disaster to another. Tejano Center can guide you to a full recovery. We can complete applications on your behalf, refer you internally to resources that might be available at that time. And the whole end goal is to make sure you do not have any unmet needs. As you can see on these pictures, we have many partners. Some families are able to get gift cards for groceries, other for home improvements, small appliances, small electrics. Tejano Center is here to connect the dots for you. Let us do the work for you. We also have the home repair program, disaster home repairs for those that are eligible. We've done quite a bit of work after Hurricane Harvey, after the floods, the freeze. We pretty much experienced everything, and who knows what else is to come. But we're here to help you. Right now, Tejano Center is conducting home repairs in the complete community, certain zip codes. And we want to make sure the homes are ready to receive the weatherization measures through CenterPoint. So making sure that the home is properly sealed. Why is this important to you? Why am I sharing this with you? Well, if you purchase an existing home, your home may qualify for the CenterPoint's weatherization program, which takes us to the next slide. And so this program is for property homeowners. There are 3 ways that you can qualify. If your household income is under the 200% of federal poverty level, or if you participate in any government-sponsored program, or if the home is located in a qualifying census tract. It's very easy to qualify. What do we need from you? We need your electric bill, the entire electric bill. And we'll also meet the application on your behalf. And then the weatherization program comes up to your home, and they will check and make sure that the home is eligible for any of these measures. And the end goal is to make sure you have an energy efficient home. These are all the measures that they check. Most of the families qualify, especially older homes, they qualify for ceiling insulation. So in all of these services and programs are at no cost to you. So please take advantage. We all have mom, dad, someone in our family who's a homeowner already. Please refer them to Tejano Center. We'll love to be part of their journey and be of service. So what makes us unique? There is a video here. Please, at your time, go and visit and see what Tejano Center is all about, how we get involved with the community. I would love to see every one of you in our home buyers class. Let us be part of your journey. Let us walk that path with you. We know what it's all about. There's no better feeling than owning the driveway where you're going to park your car at. So best of luck to all of you. And once again, thank you so much for allowing Tejano Center to come into your space on this beautiful Saturday morning. And I'll stick around to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabby, for that. And what you're looking at is the contact information. And I think Laura's going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you. For those of you that are listening and not watching the webinar, their email address is housing, HUSING, at tejanocenter.org. And you can contact them via phone at 713-643-3743. And again, this is going to be recorded. This is going to be sent out to you all next week. But here is that slide, and I think Laura's going to go ahead and put that information into the chat as well. So now we're going to transition back to the city, which is partially myself. I'm pretty sure I introduced myself, but if I didn't, I'm going to take a second to do that again. My name is Jeremiah Rivera. I'm a Community Outreach Coordinator for the City of Houston's Housing and Community Development Department, the Large Tract Division, which is administrating the New Homes for Houston initiative. And the rest of this webinar is going to be talking about that initiative and how we're building 4,000 new affordable homes throughout the city of Houston. And actually, to give you all just a little bit of a heads up, those of you that are on the webinar are going to find out some information we just launched in the first time yesterday. So you're going to be the first group of people to see some of this info. So just to talk a little bit about the New Homes for Houston initiative to give you all a sense of what we're doing here at HCD in the Large Tract Division. We are investing in our neighborhoods. We are investing over $100 million in new single-family homes throughout the city of Houston. So right now that number is in between 3,000 and 4,000. We're still finalizing some things on the back end. It's going to be between that number. But the important thing is these will be new, affordable, disaster resilient, energy efficient homes. So every home in this program will be brand new construction throughout the city. Another neat feature about this program is that these affordable homes are reserved for program qualified home buyers. So we've all read stories where people thought they were going to they found their dream home, they put in an offer, and then someone paid, I'm making up a number, but over $100,000 and over asking price, right? And then that dream was snatched away. The number of homes that we have in this program are reserved for those folks who are program qualified. So once you go through the program, once you found a home, if you're eligible, you don't have to worry about someone coming in and doing that, paying way over cash. These are reserved specifically for folks who go through this program. Now, one thing that's a little hard to explain, but we're going to talk about it in more detail, is that the investment will be based on where you are as an affordable home buyer. So unlike other traditional programs where, for example, it's a set amount of down payment assistance, this is going to be based off your individual need based on where you're at when you're ready to purchase that home. And we're going to talk about what that means in more detail in just a few minutes. I do want to mention this is a partnership with developers, and some of them may have additional program requirements that we are going to go over today. And the reason they do is because they're bringing in additional funding on their end to make the homes even more affordable. So they're taking advantage of our investment in the neighborhoods, the investments they're able to secure on their own. So there may be some of these developments where you have to apply in addition to our programming, to their programming as well. But that's going to be beneficial to you because the homes will be even more affordable than they would have been otherwise. And we're going to talk about that again more specifically in the next few slides. I'm going to take a quick second to remind everyone, please use liberal use of the chat. Our entire HCD team is here to answer questions as we go along. This is for you. We want this to be as successful as possible for you. So please use that chat as much as you like. Now, to transition back to our presentation, when you registered, we asked you all a couple of questions, three in particular. We wanted to kind of thank you for taking the time to respond to those questions and kind of go over what we were hearing from you. So the first thing we asked you is, why do you want to be a homeowner? And overwhelmingly, these were the top kind of five responses, right? Number one was, you're doing this for your children. You want them to have a yard to play in, or something to have their own, which also is the next item. You wanted something to have your own. You were tired of rent. Those two items in the two and three, kind of those comments came up a lot together. So you want to pay your own on your own home. Some folks specifically mentioned wanted to build generational wealth to hand off to their family. And there's a lot of comments about how ownership is tied to your version and your vision of the American dream. So thank you again for sharing that. We also asked you, what is the most important thing you're looking for in a home? This is going to be for probably all of us on this call. Home ownership is going to be the biggest financial investment we make in our lifetime. Certainly, I can say that for myself. So we were really curious about what is driving you when you're looking at homes. What are you looking at? And the number one answer was price. You wanted affordability for your home. You were also looking at specific neighborhoods, and a lot of you gave very specific comments about why you're looking in that specific neighborhood, but it all came back to mostly there were specific neighborhoods in the city that you're looking at. Number three was bedroom count. So a lot of folks were mentioning you wanted a room for your kids that was on their own. And then the next answer was proximity to work and school. You didn't want to drive an hour in traffic anymore. You wanted to be closer to home, or closer to a specific school for your kids. And then a backyard. A lot of you want to barbecue. That was something that we learned right away, was that backyard for barbecuing, and then way down the line, play space for kids. But a lot of barbecuers here attending this webinar, I think. And mostly related to this program, the crux of why our programming exists, we wanted to know, what is your biggest obstacle towards your homeownership journey today? And overwhelmingly, again, it came down to price. Um, you are looking for homes, most of you, and you're overwhelmingly told us the actual amount on the price is just too much right now. And related to that, number two, but further down the list, was down payment. You're still working towards getting a down payment that would be something you could apply towards that home. And then next, for those of you that are just starting, or maybe are a little bit step one or step two of your homebuyer journey, you're still working towards your credit scores and bringing that up so that you become mortgage ready. At the number four, that hit really close to home, student loans. So I know for a lot of folks my age, 5 and 10 years, swaying above and below that, student loans is something that is a barrier for all of us in everything we're trying to do. So we can tell you that our program, the New Homes for Houston Initiative, definitely is going to tackle that first item, sales price. I wish we had something for student loans, trust me. But we're going to talk about how we can make more homes more affordable for all of you that are seeing that barrier being that sales price. Actually, let me take a step back real quick. We're going to actually, in the next few slides, talk about our four developments that are closest to selling or pre-selling homes. And when I say close, I mean either they are selling homes right now, or they will be in the next 2 to 3 months. We're only going to go over four of our developments that are at that stage. And that's only representing about a quarter of the 4,000 homes that we have. So there's going to be plenty of homes um, starting from today over the next 2 to 3 years. So one thing I want to impress on everyone, even if you're not ready today, even if you're that person who said credit scores and you need to build that up, there will be homes available for you a year from now, a year and a half from now, or a month from now. So the idea, what I'm really trying to say is that if you're not ready today, you may be ready in 6 months. There will be homes that are, again, reserved for our program qualified home buyers, okay? And so we're going to go over those developments that are a little bit closer to sell right now. It's going to be kind of the same format for each of these four developments. We're going to have what the market rate prices are. Please contact the individual developer to learn more about those prices and community amenities. Uh, After that, we're going to talk about in more detail how our home's going to make that more affordable. So I mentioned earlier, some of these developers may have additional program requirements. We're going to list them, but we're not going to go over them. Please contact that developer if you have questions about them after the webinar today. And then after this section, we're going to talk about how the program actually works and how you can begin applying, okay? So this first development is called Town Park Village. This one's special because it's been on sale for a while and there's only 4 units left in this area. So again, we're going to send this presentation out to you. What we're looking at here are the flyers for the 4 homes that are left at Town Park Village on 7072 Aiden Ridge Lane. They're mostly on Aiden Ridge Lane. Here's where you can get that contact info. So the price range for those 4 homes is around 250 to 270,000. They're on sale now, and you can contact that developer by calling that number that you see here at 713-691-3948. We're shooting them an email at info@berkeleyhomes.net. Again, we are recording this and we're going to send this out to you. And one of our, I think Ingrid is going to put this information, the summary info that you're seeing here in the chat, so you can copy and paste that if you'd like, and save it for your own follow-up later. So this development, New Homes for Acres Homes, this is going to be one of our biggest initial developments. It's going to actually be in 3 different sites on Acres Homes. So we're only going to cover one. It's the one that's closest to sale now. It says Mansfield development here, and I failed art in kindergarten, as you can tell from my circle. That's going to be, I'm sorry, it's not Mansfield, it's West Tidwell. This one. I got a little ahead of myself, so I promise it's West Tidwell. There's going to be 47 homes here, 15 sold at affordable prices. We're going to go over some of those home slides. This was literally a month ago. I had a groundbreaking with the mayor and some of our council members. Literally a month from now, a month ago, the January 25th. So this is what these homes look like then. So they're very close for pre-sale. They're going to be 2 to 3 story townhomes starting at 300,000, going to 370. These are the market rate prices. Again, we're going to talk about how we're going to make these homes more affordable. And just going over it very shortly to show you the floor plans to give you an idea what these homes look like. And the site plan for just this specific site. These homes will be going on pre-sale now. Sites 2 and 3 will be going on pre-sale later this year. So if you're looking to move into Acres Homes, this might be something you want to bookmark. So the market price range again is going to be right at 300,000 and 370. The pre-sale status is now. These developments are available now. With a projected move-in date, so you can pre-sale with a move-in date of spring of this year, so a couple months from now. You'll see the developer contact info there. You can give them a call at 832-649-5600 or shoot them an email at oracle@rzinc.net. They also have a sales center in Acres Home, which is listed here. And Ingrid's going to put that contact info in the slide for all of you. Our next development is in OST South Union. We're calling it the New Homes for OST South Union. And this is in partnership with Agape CDC, which is a nonprofit organization based in the neighborhood. They are building up to 80 homes, and they're going to be in this range in terms of square feet, starting at 840, going up to about 430. There'll be 2 and 3 bedroom options. And this is a site map of the colored in homes are where they will be building throughout OST South Union. And these pictures from a couple weeks ago, so you can see these homes are almost done and they're on pre-sale now. This is one of our partners that are able to make the homes even more affordable because they have their own programming money they're able to bring in. So again, this slide will be sent to you. We're not going to go over their program requirements, but just know that you can reach out to them and they will gladly go over this in more detail and help you get ready to apply under their program. So this is where the headquarters are at in Agape Development, 6504 Calhoun. You can give them a call at 713-658-1001. And again, that summary slide for you. Their market rate price range is going to be pretty big swing, 219,000 to 399. They're going on pre-sale now, and homes will be available starting now, going to the rest of this year. You saw that site map. They are starting. They almost done with the first 5 homes. They're going to be building 5 homes at a time. So if you're not ready today, but you might be ready 3 months from now, for example, or 6 months from now, then you're interested in OST South Union, definitely reach out to them so they can get you started on their own programming. And you can, again, that information is in the chat. So New Homes for Northeast Houston, this is going to be our largest development. This is a 3-year phased property, okay? And this is in partnership with Houston Habitat for Humanity. This is a huge development, 127 acres, master plan community. There's going to be 468 home ownership opportunities here. 400 of them will be made more affordable. Here you can see all the amenities that are going to be part of the master plan community. Phase one is right now. That's actually what you're looking at here on the bottom right. And so the streets are being paved. Homes are going to be begin construction uh, next month. We're still in February, but they're going to start in March. So they will have homes starting in March for the next 3 years. So when I mentioned earlier, if you're not home buyer ready yet, but you're working towards that, this might be a development that you want to look into because there will be homes, 400 of them over the next few years. So this is a sample 4-bedroom floor plan. Habitat for Humanity does have their own program requirements, so definitely reach out to them to learn more about this, including their website, houstonhabitat.org. You can download their application. I'm going to let you all know that they're having a community event of their own on Thursday, March 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at HCC North Forest campus in the community room at C128. Again, we're going to send this information to all of y'all probably by Wednesday, no later than Thursday. So you can definitely reach out to them. And if this is a development that interests you, we highly encourage you to attend. So their price range will be 155,000 to 200,000. Again, for all of these developments, please contact the developer for the final market rate prices. Um, for pre-sale status, right now they're not quite ready at pre-sale, but definitely reach out to them and they can help you work through the program requirements. So when the homes are ready for pre-sale, you're good to go and you can get all that started. And then this is the last of our developments that are almost ready to go on sale as of today. This is also an OST South Union, and we're calling it New Homes for OST at MLK. This is in partnership with Mayberry Homes. They are building 40 affordable townhome units and what they're calling Southern Palm. So if you go to the website that we're going to show you in just a second to the contact info, there's a great video rendering. The groundbreaking is actually going to be in a couple of weeks. So this is the development that will be move-in ready. And then here are some renderings of the interior to give you an idea of what they're looking at. Let me go back for a second. And some first unit and second floor, first floor and second floor site plan. And here's their price range. They're looking at 250 to right under 300,000. Again, this is a 40 home development. All the homes will be for our program. So all 40 will be made more affordable through this program. And they are projecting pre-sale status in spring. So almost any time now with a move-in time of midsummer. So June, July, August, that's the time frame. And here is their contact info. You can reach out to Ashley Mayberry at ashley@mayberryhomes.net. We're at 281-771-2121. Again, these are only 4 of our developments. We have about 16 that we're lining up that will all be in different phases. So we just wanted to show you a little bit of what we have in the pipeline to give you an idea again, even if you're not home buyer ready today, or even if you are, there are homes that will be available for you if you are program qualified. And that's it. We're actually going to talk about what that means, right? I've been hinting at that for a while. Hopefully some of you are excited to learn about how this is going to actually work. So that's what we're going to talk about for most of the rest of our presentation. And we're going to show you how to actually start the application process at the end of this, okay? So I hope you all are as excited as I am to present this info to you. So your first steps, and one of the reasons we wanted to invite Tejano Center is that they have that entire suite of home buyer and homeowner services. So you do need to have that HUD 8-hour education course that they mentioned. I want to be upfront and make sure that we're all on the same page. You do not have to go through the Tejano Center. Anyone that offers that course, you can take that through them, but they are a partner that offers that. If you click on this link, it's a hyperlink on this slide. It will take you to HUD's webpage, and they will list everyone in Houston that offers that. So you can use the Tejano Center, you can use any of those providers. From the city's perspective, as long as it's within the last 12 months, we will take it. This program is for folks who are home buyer ready. So part of the application process is a third-party pre-approval letter for a fixed rate mortgage, okay? So to be clear about this, the city does not have preferred lenders. You are free to shop around. Each developer may have their own preferred lender. You do not have to use them, but they have preferred lenders that maybe make that process more smooth for you. But the city's perspective, again, we do not have a preferred lender. The next step is that you must earn up to 120% area median income for all the homes that we showed you. Other developments might be at 80% area median income, and that's going to be dependent on each site. And we're going to show you what that means right now, actually. So one of the neat things about this program is that we are able to go up to 120% area median income. So for a household of 4 people, that is $106,300. You can make up to that before you make too much money to be program qualified. So at that column on the right. And to be a little more specific, that's going to be the folks moving into the new home. So if you're like me and you grew up in a mixed family of 8 people, in my example, when I was fortunate enough that my parents moved into a house just for us, it was me, my mom, my sister, and my stepdad. So it wasn't the 8 people that was living with me, it was the 4 people moving into that home that you're going to buy through this program. So again, this information is on our website. So it's very household specific what that 120% area median income is. So I'm just leaving this here for another second so you can kind of get a gauge of what those salaries look like. Don't feel like you have to write this down. This is all on our website. We're going to show you where to find it at the end of this presentation. So we want to talk about the home buyer process, right? So these developments are generally going to have market rate and more attainable rate homes attainable through our program, okay? And so the way this works at a high level, when the homes are ready for sale, anyone will have an option of going for a market rate home or what we're calling an attainable rate home. The first step for everyone, well, first we do encourage, but do not require that you find a realtor. Find a realtor that will work for you and has your best interest and can help you find a home that works for you. A requirement for everyone, if you're going to buy a home, right, is getting that 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Now, if you're going to buy a market rate home, you will just go through the traditional home buyer process at any of these sites. So you don't have to go to the city. You can just go to the developer directly and buy those market rate homes through that traditional home buyer process. If you are going to use the city program to make the homes more affordable or attainable, you'll have to upload your program eligibility documents into our website, and we'll show you where that's at in a minute, and then agree to a 4-year secondary lien. So we're going to talk about what that means, a secondary lien, and how it works in our program in about 3 slides. But after the end of this process, which is on the bottom, you will go and continue the traditional home buyer process. At the end of the day, all we are doing is bringing down the price of the homes. You'll be the homeowner. Uh, so you own the land, you will own the home, and you will be a homeowner. And that's where we want to get as many people and as quickly as possible. Okay. So we're going to talk about this in a few more slides. So some required documents. I'm not going to go through all of these. These are some bullet points. We have on the right a picture of the home buyer checklist packet. All of that is spelled out in more detail in that packet. And I'm going to show you where to find this in the on the website so you can download it and start working with your family, with your realtor to start gathering those documents so you can apply for this program. Okay, so I hinted earlier the home buyer the assistance will be based on where the home buyer is at, and I want to walk you through an example of what that looks like. A question we get all the time, is like, what's the specific amount of assistance? And because we wanted to make this program match individuals, I can't give you an exact number. So this walk through this hypothetical example will kind of give you an idea of how the program works, okay? So in this example, it's a household of 5, okay? It's a family of 4, traditional nuclear family, 2 parents, 2 kids, and 1 grandparent that's living in the household. So the 2 parents, one's an inspector, one's a social school worker. They're both making less than $50,000 in this example. And the stay-at-home grandparent is has $14,000 in annual disability. For the purposes of determining your area median income, we are only looking at taxable income. So for our calculations, because that annual disability is not taxable, we are not taking it into account that $14,000. So that income calculation is listed here. It's right under 94,000. And for a household of 5, I know the chart's not up in front of us again, but for a household of 5 in this example, the 120% area median income is 114,000. So this family program qualifies. Again, we do not take non-taxable information into account on this section. So for the question you probably all have in your mind is how does the assistance work? The assistance is tied to what we are calling the affordability gap of where you are as an individual home buyer. And when I say individual home buyer, that's your household, okay? So in this example, that household that we just talked about was able to find a lender that offered them $250,000 fixed rate mortgage, okay? The market rate price of the development that they're interested in is $300,000. So obviously that is a gap between what they were able to get from their lender and what the home is selling for, market rate. So that is what the affordability gap is. It is the difference between the market rate price of the home and that specific development they're interested in, minus what they as an individual home was able to get from a lender. So in this case, it's a $50,000 affordability gap. So that developer will work with that $50,000 affordability gap. So for example, if this same household, they were able to get 275,000, there would be a $25,000 gap, and that would be the individual's homebuyer affordability gap. So again, this program is designed to meet you based on where you are when you are ready to buy a home. That affordability gap is tied to that secondary lien that I mentioned earlier. So we're going to carry this example all the way through. Again, remember this specific family had a $50,000 affordability gap, right? 25% of your affordability gap is forgiven in that secondary lien. So in this example, every year that that household lives in that home that they end up purchasing, $12,500 is forgiven yearly. So at the end of 4 years, the secondary lien is completely forgiven. So to be clear, that family is not making a payment on that affordability gap or that secondary lien as long as they stay in the home for the 4 years. I do want to say, remember when I mentioned earlier, some of the developers have additional program requirements. They may have a additional secondary lien or additional lien, but from the city's perspective, it is 4 years as a minimum, okay? So check with the developer. If it's a developer that's, again, bringing their own assistance to make the homes more affordable, there may be an additional lien, I'm sorry. But from the city's perspective, it's 4 years, okay? So that's again how at a high level that program works. It's going to be based on where you're at. And I know that can be a little not satisfying in terms of not knowing the exact amount, but we really wanted to tailor this so that way we can reach as many people as possible and make it something that's affordable for them based on where they are today. So we're going to go over a few more slides before we show you the website and how to get to the application and that checklist that I mentioned. So a couple of things on the homebuyer pre-qualification section, okay? So we talked about how the program works. We want to talk about debt to income ratio. This is an important thing to keep in mind. It's tied to one of the questions we get a lot about maximum assistance. So for make sure we're all have an understanding of debt to income ratio, I'm going to say DTI from here on out. DTI is your monthly payments, monthly recurring payments, I should say, divided by gross monthly income. So it's the money that you are paying out every month divided by your pre-tax income. So we're gonna give you an example. So you go through and upload all your required documents. You get a letter from the city saying you program qualify. You go to a developer, you find a home, and at that point you know what your monthly mortgage payment would be, right? That will be your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. And then we look at your monthly debt. That could be your car payment, your credit cards, your student loans, unfortunately. Trust me, that hurts me too. Medical debt, anything that's a monthly recurring payment that's on your credit report. Again, your gross income is your income before taxes. Your DTI based on the home you've chosen cannot be more than 45%. And we're going to walk you through an example of what that means. So let's say the home you've chosen, it's going to be a monthly mortgage payment of $2,000. And you have monthly debt, again, your credit card, student loans, whatever the case may be, of 1,500. That means your total monthly debt would be 3,500, okay? In this example, this couple here is making, before tax, $7,808 a month. So we will take their total monthly debt, which is 3,500, and divide it by their pre-tax income, which is here $7,800, and they're at 44% gross, 44% DTI. So they're able to move forward and purchase that home, okay, because they're under that 45% debt to income ratio. So I know we get a lot of questions about max assistance, like if I get a mortgage that's 100,000 and the home is 300, will I get 200? Um, this is something that we look at on the back end. If there's that big of a gap between your pre-approval letter and the market rate price, you're not very likely to pass the DTI income ratio. Now, the city will walk you through all this. So if there's any questions or any doubts, our advice to you is to apply, and we will walk you through all of this. Okay, so we will let you know where you are on all of this. So if you feel like, oh, maybe this isn't for me, or I'm not sure, I highly recommend you apply, and you let us help you walk you through the program requirements, do all of this, so we can explain this to you. Okay. All right, so I'm about to show you the website. I'm going to show you some links, some additional resources, because again, all of you are in different phases of your homebuyer journey, right? Some of you might be going to the website immediately after this webinar and putting your application materials in because you're ready. Some of you need to work on your credit and anywhere in between. So we have some resources, including the website, that we're going to show you in these next few slides. Please, these are going to be free resources. Use this, find what you need to help be homebuyer ready. So on this slide, you're going to have the website, which we're going to show you in just a second, the New Homes for Houston Initiative website, which is houstontx.gov/housing/homes/new. On that website, we're also going to have a homebuyer interest survey. So the purpose of this survey, do you remember earlier when I said we're going to have homes going up for sale from now until the next 2 or 3 years? When you complete this survey, we will let you know when homes that aren't ready yet, but will be ready down the road, are ready for pre-sale. So for example, some of our developments like on Silla Link, that's not going to be ready for about a year. So if you sign up for that on our survey, and I'll show you where that's at on the website, we will email you resources like this webinar and other free resources along the way. And importantly, we will tell you when that development that you've chosen is ready for sale. So even if, again, that development isn't ready now, we highly recommend you fill out that survey so we can keep in contact with you and let you know when those homes are ready for sale. Importantly, we also have our direct contact info, new home buyer at houstontx.gov. Our team monitors that. We answer questions. So there are questions that come up after this webinar that we haven't addressed in the chat or in the Q&A. We will go ahead and answer those questions during office hours, okay? Some of our colleagues at HCD host what they call the 360 Road to Homeownership webinar series. These are recordings that are already up on the website, and we'll have additional new guests that will talk about things like building your credit, finding a good realtor that will work for you, finding a good lender, and then also the things that you don't think about, right? Maybe necessarily when you're looking to buy a home, how to make sure that your asset that you want to pass on to your kids remains an asset, how to do things like making sure the roof is maintained, things like that. So it's free. You can watch the old videos and the new ones that are upcoming. So definitely recommend you take a look at that when you get the chance. HCD is also hosting our spring community meetings. This is something a little bit separate from Homebuyer in particular, but we want to let you know about this because it's our community meetings are to discuss the department's goals for $45 million in federal entitlement and another $50 million to help Houston recover from the winter storm we had in 2021. So this is a great opportunity to let us know how should that money be spent, okay? So we rely on community feedback to help build our programs. And so we don't know what we don't know. We need to hear from you. So here are some of those events. That way, please spread the word. The more feedback we get from all of you, the better the programming, the more tailored it is towards everyone in Houston that we're trying to serve. On March 28th, they're going to host that at the Acresville Multi-Service Center. There'll be an open house and activities, and all of our program staff, not just from us, but the entire department will be there. On March 30th, we'll be hosting that virtually. So if you aren't able to attend that Acres home site, you'll be able to attend virtually, and there'll be an English and Spanish line as well. And again, we'll send this out to you in the webinar slides, all this Wednesday or Thursday of this week. The last thing I'm going to show you all, and then we're going to get into the website to show you how to apply, is the City of Houston has financial empowerment centers. So this is not, this is hosted through the mayor's office. It's not through HCD, but this is City of Houston free resources that are available to you. They offer some of the resources that you can see here at no cost to you. And they're hosted at 4 of the multi-service centers: Acres Homes, Sunnyside, Magnolia, and Kashmere. Here you can see the program contact information for the Mr. Roberto Howard, and he's the one who oversees the financial empowerment centers. His email address is rhoward at serjobs, serjobs.org. And now I'm going to show you all the website. So if you give me a second, I'm going to transition over to that page. Uh, keep asking questions in the chat, because right after we show you how to get to the website and where some of those resources are, we're going to take all of your questions. Okay, so I know we said an hour, but we're going to say as long as we need to make sure that we answer your questions while you're here today. Okay. And while I'm doing that, Ingrid, if you haven't yet, please, everyone, she might have already put it in the chat, but we have a quick survey. It's only 5 questions. We ask you to put that when you get a chance to answer that, because it really helps us, right? We kept hearing from all of our clients and our constituents that the down payment assistance wasn't enough. And that's one of the reasons why we created the program we have now. So your information is vital to making sure that we're responsive to your needs. So that link to that survey is in there. It's only 5 questions, so we appreciate it if you are able to take the time to answer that. So all that was just me transitioning to show you the website. This is the New Homes for Houston page that I mentioned earlier. It's probably, the link's already in the chat. For those of you, remember there's that interest survey I mentioned. It's right up top here. You'll click on that and you can let us know which developments are of the most interest to you, and we will let you know when those homes are ready for sale. And we'll also send you information like links to this webinar and other free home buyer services. If you're a realtor or lender, we were going to have specific information and webinars for you. You can sign up for information by clicking which button this is, realtor or lender. But the most important thing on this page is this section down here. So I'm going to blow this up to make it a little bit easier to read. And each of our developments is named off the neighborhood they're built in. So what you'll see is for the developments that are ready for pre-sale applications, we'll have this now accepting application button. And then we have projected start dates for the developments where they're maybe not building yet, or they need a little more time to build. So the other thing I want to point out to you is each of these blurbs will have the number of total homes that are being built there, including the affordable / attainable homes that are reserved for our program participants, and the market rate homes that are going to be available. So if you find that you are able to buy one of those market rate homes without the city assistance, you can go to those sites now and purchase that home without city assistance. Each of these are their own webpage, so you can click the Learn More button, and it will tell you more about those developments, including floor plans, who the developer is, and you can check out their information on their own website, okay? And so as I'm scrolling through this, like I said, we didn't have time to go through all of these developments. We will have individual home buyer fairs like this as each development is ready for sale. So that is one of the reasons why we want you to fill out that interest survey, so we can let you know when those are coming up. Now, for the homes that are ready for sale, you'll click this button now, accepting applications. So actually, let me scroll back. Let me use the Acres Home example. Well, they both link to this page. This is the HoustonTX.gov/housing/homes/apply. It's going to take you to this page, and it'll walk you through some agreement information. I think the link's probably in the chat now. I'm not going to go through all of these because I'm sure you all are tired of hearing my voice by now at this point. I thank you for your patience. Some of the important things here, this is the actual link to the application portal, okay? So I'm not going to click on it now, but this will take you to where you actually put your documents in to apply. And down here is that home buyer checklist packet, okay? I am going to click on this just to show you what it looks like. It's going to be PDF, and this is going to walk you through everything you need in terms of all the documents. So when you look on the portal, you may not know, for example, what is a name affidavit? Come check out this packet. It will tell you what all of this is, who needs to upload it, for which members of your household. It's a very comprehensive document. And if you still have questions, you still have that new home buyer at Houston TX email, and we will answer those questions for you. Okay. So this will walk you through everything you need to apply. And and then scrolling down just a little bit more, some of these forms are specific to our program. For example, the child support affidavit, that name affidavit I mentioned earlier. So everything you need is on this page to apply, okay? So that is actually the end of our presentation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to hand the mic over to my colleague Lakeisha, and she's going to answer some of the questions out loud that you're answering in the chat in case some of y'all missed that. And then we're going to take any questions that you have after that. Feel free to use the raise hand icon, which is it looks like a little high five, if you have questions. And we're going to, like I said, spend the rest of our time answering those questions for you, okay? So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to mute myself and hand the mic to Lakeisha.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So I'll just go over some of the questions that were posted in the chat. I'll start with, is Stella Link one of our developments? Has it started? And the answer to that question is, at this time, Stella Link has not begun. The developments that are available are Acres Home and OST South Union. If you'd like for me to repeat any of these questions, just let me know. Another question that we received is, should people apply through the city before getting a mortgage lender involved? And the answer, we didn't get an answer posted on that just yet.
Lakeisha, I can answer that.
Go
It's
right
Jackie.
ahead.
You should work with your lender first. As Jeremiah showed you on the last screen on the new home buyer, you have to be pre-approved with a lender before you apply. So you definitely need to get involved with your lender first.
Great, thank you,
Mhm.
Jackie. Another question that we had was in regards to Stella Link, one of our developments, and basically the question was asking, has that development started yet? And the answer to that question is, it is projected to start in the summer, this summer, 2023. If you want some more information, just continue to check back on our website after June.
If I could just jump in real quick, Lakeisha, for Stella Link, there on that website, there's a link to sign up for more information, and we'll update you based on we'll email everyone when there's information on that development.
Great. This question has come up a lot. It was like, it says, will this recording be sent to us? And yes, as Jeremiah said, this recording will be sent to you sometime next week. Another question is, do we have to live in one of the 16 developments to qualify? And the answer, Jackie, do you want to answer that really quick?
Yes, if who's sharing the screen?
That's me.
That's you, Jeremiah. Can you go back up to the top? One of the, okay, right there. So the first home buyer agreement, the answer to that question is yes, he or she will occupy the property as their principal resident throughout the affordability period. So these homes are not for sale for you as an investment property. You must, live in that home as your primary residence. And the affordability period for the homes in the communities we're discussing at this point is 4 years.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, should I apply now even if I'm only interested in the Stella Link homes? And Jackie, do you want to answer that one?
Yes, my suggestion is to wait until we start building on those homes. Because of the income, we do want your most current income. So even though we're using your tax return, you may get an increase before we start accepting applications after you filed your tax return. If that increase is more than 10%, then you'd have to complete the worksheet. So it's better to just apply closer to the time when the communities are ready, so your documents will be current that you're submitting. And so you'll have current information, with your lender as well.
Okay. A question that we have, let's see. Is the affordability gap the same as the down payment assistance? If not, How is it different? And can buyers use both? And anyone like to jump in and answer that one for me?
The affordability gap, again, there's two separate programs, even though, there are programs at the city. Each program has its own, guidelines. And so for our program, it's 4 years. When you talk about the communities that will be coming for the Harvey Single Family Program, that's going to be 5 years. So the Harvey grant of the 30,000, I'm not sure what their affordability period is. And they may have guidelines to say that that you can or cannot, use these funds with other programs in the city. So it's very important to read the guidelines for each program to know if they can be used together. All we can say is when the city has multiple programs, we would like to assist as many people in the city in obtaining a home. So some people only need down payment assistance. Some people need more than a 30,000. So the goal is to assist as many people as we can, but not for our home buyers to try to stack multiple programs to own their home. So, just be considerate and, as you're applying for the programs to understand, everyone has a different need. And so which one best fits what I need to obtain a home, and then just go with that program. We can't guarantee that, funding from separate programs, again, can be stacked in order for you to own your home. What's the second question? What was the second question?
Oh, the next question that I have is the application done online?
Yes, we only have an online application for this program. There's no paper applications. If you don't have any assistance or access to a computer, again, we are in the office Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. You can send an email with your contact information, and we can make you an appointment. We can do a Teams call, to assist you if you need some help. You can come to the office. We do have computers that you can use if you need assistance in completing this. Your realtor can assist you. Your lender can assist you. So any assistance you need, we'll make that available on our side, but we're having trainings with realtors and lenders so they can assist as well. But you will need to complete it online, and you have to sign it online, so someone can't do it, on your behalf. We need your signature on there.
And this is a three-part question. You may have already answered the first one. Are you able to use the 30,000 Harvey grant with the affordable homes?
Yes, I've answered that one. So
Okay.
again, depending on the guidelines with the Harvey program, you'll need to, look at our website for their program directly, contact them and see if that's available. But as I stated, try to use one program for your home buyer assistance, whether that's going to be with our affordable home development in the new homes for Houston, or if it's going to be down payment assistance. It's really not designed for you to stack programs.
Okay. And what is the max gap on the affordable homes?
The max gap really depends on your pre-approval amount and the sales price of the home and the development that you choose, that you want to buy in. So it's not a it's not a flat amount that we can give you for the max. It's too many factors. And really, since that subsidy has been, given to the developer, it's something you definitely have to work out with the developer and the development that you're choosing to buy in. So we don't know your pre-approval amount. We don't know the sales price of the home that you're purchasing. And we don't know what that particular development is able to assist with in funding. So in that affordability gap. So it's really several factors, and there's no, again, we can't give you a flat max amount.
Okay. The next question is, what is the lowest, highest price on your affordable homes to be sold at the West Tidwell location? I don't know if Jeremiah can answer that.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up that slide again, and I'm also just gonna remind everyone, please double check with the developer because prices do change depending on what's going on. But right now for the West Tidwell site, they're projecting a market rate price of this right here. And again, we're gonna send this presentation out to all of y'all. We're gonna upload the recording on YouTube and put that link on our website and the presentation on our website. We're also gonna directly email this to everyone who registered. So this is the Acres Home West Tidwell market rate price before going through the program.
Thank you. Next question. Will there be any developments far north or northwest outside of the Beltway?
So the developments that we have on, I'm gonna go back, on this page are the ones we've made public. And so I'm going to say there are some developments that aren't on this webpage yet, but we have to do uh, very laborious internal processes. So I can't directly say yes or no. What I will say is keep coming to this website because I can tell you for sure there are more coming.
Thank you. Next question. If your income changes during the course of your loan, would that affect your mortgage payments? If your income changes during the course of your loan, would that affect your mortgage payments?
On the front end, we do a conditional approval. So your income at the time of, before you close, unless your lender is updating your income, because our underwriting section works with the lender. So once the income is verified and you're verified to close, all that's going to be done towards the end. So in between, no. At the verification stage with underwriting, we may have to collect some additional information. But for now, I don't foresee that. But on the front end, when you come in and you get your conditional approval, it's what your income is at that time, because we want to just make sure you're under that 120% area median income. So I would imagine at the time of closing, but I'm not on the underwriting end, but if your income has increased to where you're over 120% AMI, it may affect that. It may affect it.
Jeremiah put a question in for those who are still with us. Which of the 4 developments presented today are you most interested in? If you'd like to drop something in the chat, that'd be great. Okay. And another question that we have is, do you have to live in Houston now, or can you, say, for instance, be moving to the city? So maybe you're outside of the Houston area now. Can you take part in this program from Chicago, knowing that you're moving here to Houston? Can you do that?
Yes, I don't see anywhere in our guidelines for the Affordable Home Development Program. The program, the Harvey Single Family, you have to have been living in Houston at the time. But for the Affordable Home Development, no, yeah, you can be moving as long as it's going to be your primary residence. Then you're eligible to participate in those. It's just the Harvey Single Family. You have to be a resident at the time in Houston and been impacted by Hurricane Harvey. So yes to the affordable, no to the Harvey Single Family.
Okay. I'm not sure if we have anyone on the line that can answer this, but do we use our current insurance agent for our home insurance once we get closer to the closing time?
Yes, you're free to use any insurance company that you choose. Typically, you work that out with your lender, but as a realtor, that's something, you get an option to choose. You can shop your insurance, most definitely.
And can your insurance be a backup for any cost and fees?
I'm not understanding that question.
Yeah, can insurance be a backup for any cost and fees? If you'd like to expand on that and drop that in the chat, that'd be great. Or whoever answered that, who answered that question, asked that question. Michelle, if you're still with us. Do you need to have a certain amount of savings in your bank account?
That's a question for your lender. That's strictly for your lender, any cash reserves that you need.
And so the previous question in regards to can you use insurance for cost and fees? She said she means like as a down payment and closing costs. Can you use your insurance for that?
I'm sorry. Anyone else? I'm not understanding.
Okay.
Can you add down? I'm not understanding. I don't want to interpret that. Michelle, can you come on the line and explain that? I'm just not understanding.
She may not be able to unmute herself. We can, Michelle, if you're having trouble unmuting yourself, if you can shoot us your email at our email address, new home buyer, our new home buyer interest, we can reach out to you after this webinar and we can update our FAQs based off that discussion. Lakeisha, are there any more questions in the chat? Otherwise, we can ask people who have their hand raised.
No, I think that's pretty much it. If I missed anything, please let me know.
Got it. Anyone, if we missed your question in the chat, please put it back in the chat. We're gonna have people who have their hand raised go now. Lorraine, am I saying your name right? Lorraine Phillips. Do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question that you have? I can go ahead and unmute you. Give me a second. Lorraine, you're still trying to unmute you. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you're good. We can hear you now.
Okay. My question was, is the City Park Central location still in the plans?
City, you mean Cityscape?
Yes, Cityscape. That's it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no
Yes.
worries. Yes, so that's one of our Harvey sites, and that's one that we're projecting to move forward on. We should have some more information about that in the next couple of weeks, so keep your eye out for that, okay?
Thank you.
And then I see a 832-484-0069 number if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, or we can try to unmute you. I think you're unmuted. Whoever's calling in on last 40069, if you want to ask your question. Okay, I think she put her hand down. Sherry, I see that you have your hand raised, so go ahead and please unmute yourself so you can ask your question for the team.
Yes, you said that we needed to have a lender. I don't know how to go about to even get a lender before we can apply.
So that's you have to in general you need to, and I'm saying you metaphorically, everyone needs to find the lender that works for them. So there's a couple different avenues you have. So the Tejano Center and other nonprofit groups that have home buyer counseling, they can walk you through that in more detail and give you personalized counseling. Each of our builders for each of our sites will also have their own preferred lenders. And so if you want to, if there's a development that specifically you're interested in, if you don't want to shop around, you can contact that developer and they can put you in contact with lenders that they have relationships with. Do we, Lakeisha, do we have any other questions in the chat that came up?
Not at this time.
I think Lee asked Michelle additional questions. Michelle, are you wanting to know how much monies is needed, an estimate at closing for closing costs and fees? I think she said yes, if that's correct. Again, lenders, once you have a contract, once you have identified the home that you want to purchase, your lender will go over all the costs based on the based on the product you qualify for. And I'm just saying, if it's FHA conventional, they'll talk to you about the down payment assistance amount you need. Again, once you identify the home, because they'll give you a pre-approval for the amount of home that you can purchase. They will work with the developer. So you'll be working with the developer to see what that affordability subsidy amount that you'll be eligible for based on the home you selected and your pre-approval letter. So once the lender has your contract, and once they even pull your pre-approval, while they're working on getting your pre-approval, they may ask you, how much money do you have in the bank? Have you saved for down payment assistance? If you need down payment assistance, there's programs that your lender will work with to get you down payment assistance. It may be that the developer can assist on your closing costs. So that's why you need to work with the lender first, so they can kind of see, what your buying power is and all the assistance that you may need in order to purchase the home. So they will give you, again, once the house is identified, it costs this much, they can give you an estimate of what the closing costs would be on that. Before it's down payment, if you have not personally saved for a down payment yourself, again, and that's based on, let's just go with FHA. If I'm still up to date, it's usually 3.5% of the sales price is what you need to come to the table with in down payment assistance. So if you don't have 3.5%, your lender can refer different programs to assist you with down payment assistance. And then, so say that that's covered. Then they will put that down, on your worksheet to say, okay, if you got assistance or if you have that money, they have the whole worksheet of what you'll need to know in purchasing your home. So that's like going to be your best friend, okay, is your lender. And so we can't give you like individual amounts on what the closing costs would be, because again, you're working with the developer, whichever development that you choose, it's just going to be different for each buyer. So the city's main, our goal in our part in this program is to just identify that you are under the 120% AMI for the household size. Okay, so if there's one person in your household, the cap for income is 74,400. So when we're looking at you, when you come through the city, that's our main goal, is to see that if you're eligible to participate in this program. If you are applying for the affordable home program, I mean, not the affordable, but for the Harvey single family program, that's 80% of the area median income. So for one person, your income cannot max 49,600. So that's the city's part. We need to identify home buyers that are in these income ranges for their family size to say, yes, you can participate in the program. After we do our part on the front, it's about identifying the correct development, the ideal development for you, based on your pre-approval amount. Okay, which one of these communities would be your best fit? So it's a joint effort in the city. Based on our funding, we just want to make sure that we've identified families in these income ranges to assist in purchasing their home.
And just a reminder, Laura put in, sorry, excuse me, everyone. Laura put in the chat, Laura from the Tejano Center put in the chat that their pre-purchase counseling services are free of charge, and you can contact them again at 713-640-3743. That number again is 713-640-3743. And then there's some folks that are realtors that have put their information in the chat as well. Again, we don't have preferred lenders, preferred realtors. The only thing that we have set in stone are those developments that we've shown you. So we encourage you to find the best fit for you. I think, as the only thing I'd add to what Jackie said, this is a program that's designed to work based on where you're at. So it's hard to give exact figures. Again, it's just going to be based on where you are as a home buyer. And then also, Gabby mentioned that they are from the Tejano Center mentioned the home buyer classes again. So contact them at 713-640-3743 if you're interested in doing so. Are there any other questions in the chat, Lakeisha?
There was a one question. How can I, this is from someone who's possibly out of state. How can I do everything out of state? Is that an option, or would I need to be in Houston before starting the process for a affordable home purchase?
Well, I mean, the portal's online. The lender that you choose and where you take. So the three major requirements up front will be the homebuyer education course, and you can go to the HUD website, which we will send out again in the presentation to find, if we're going to say you're in Chicago, the nonprofits and other organizations that offer that. And I know in Houston, Gabby from the Towne Center just mentioned they do host those online, the HUD homebuyer education courses. Lenders are also, you can find one online as well or in person. So most of the required documents you need to submit, you can find online.
And unless I missed anything, I think that's all the questions.
Well, everyone that's still with us, we really thank you for your time. We really appreciate you being here. If you have a chance, please fill out that survey because we want to make sure we're offering the information that we need in future webinars. Again, we're going to try to get this out to you, this recording and the slides directly to your inbox by Wednesday, hopefully by Thursday at the latest. We'll upload them on the New Homes for Houston webpage. And yeah, we will. Is there anything else to close off? Jackie, Lakeisha, we are excited to work with you to get you into your homes, okay? We want you to be successful as applicants and as homeowners. And so we're going to have updated webinars probably every 2 months, and we'll have specific webinars about each development as they're ready to go on pre-sale. So that way you can talk to the developer and they can talk to you about the amenities and that sort of thing. And so we're excited about this program. We're excited to get you all into homes. And we thank you all for taking your Saturday morning. Please go out and have a great lunch and have a great rest of your weekend, all right?
Jeremiah, real quick, I'm sorry. Sherry has her hand up. You still
Sherry,
there?
Sherry, did you have a question? I think that might have been from earlier, right? Where you had your hand raised? Oh, well, let me see. I think Sherry and then Grace. Sherry, if you had your hand raised from earlier, okay, yeah, Sherry said that was from earlier. Grace, I see you have your hand raised. Go ahead and please unmute yourself and ask your question. Grace, are you able to unmute yourself? I see that you put in the chat, Grace, that you taken the class last year. And I think if you're asking like how long is that certificate good for, Gabby from earlier mentioned, and this is true for us too, that certificate is good for 12 months. State around a time application. Yeah, so if your HUD, for everyone that's here, for the HUD Homebuyer Education course, that certificate is good for 12 months from the time that you took it. And that would be, as Gabby mentioned earlier, that's used across a multitude of different programs and assistance and lending programs. So as long as you took it within the last 12 months of when you're applying, you should be all set from the city's perspective.
So Grace, you said the city ran out of money at the time. Will my application still be good? So you applied for the Home Buyer Assistance Program, which is a separate program from this one. So you will need to contact that program to see if your application is still good.
Well, as I was saying earlier, everyone, thank you so much for spending a big chunk of your Saturday morning with us, and now it's afternoon. Go get a good lunch. Go enjoy the sunshine because the way the weather's been, we don't know if it's gonna be gray and cloudy all week next week, right? Oh, okay. Sherry has one more question. Sherry, go ahead.
Yes, on those home buyer the class where we have to have the certification, does my husband have to attend to? Because he works on Saturdays and it's hard for him to get off.
Yes, he does need to attend the class if he's going to be on the loan and the application. So those who are on the loan and the application, far as buyers identified as applicant and co-applicant. both will need to attend the classes. And some classes are offered online. So if you'll just check the different agencies, I'm not sure if anyone on my team is here that can share an online class. They're not all in person. So when you go to our website and it identifies the HUD approved agencies, once you select that button to be taken to the locations, you just put in your zip code and then you can see if they offer it online. It doesn't have to be in person.
Does he have to sit through the entire thing, or does his face have to be present? Because he works. Because he works a 10-hour shift, so
he doesn't have any days off.
His days off are Thursday and Friday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, so I'm just saying if it's online, he's taking it on his day off.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily on Saturdays. They can have it during the week. Do we both have to be there together, or can I take one and then he take one?
Yes, it can be separate, just as long as we have a certificate from both of you. Doesn't even have to be at the same place.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions. So again, thank you everyone. We're gonna get this out to you for sure this week, upcoming business week. We appreciate your time today. Be on the lookout for information about future developments that are coming up for pre-sale and new developments that we haven't put on the website yet. So we will be in touch with all of you throughout the year. Thank you again, and please enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?